तुम्हारे सामने नायकर गोंगो लुगू लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
In this bulletin, FICAC questions 2 MPs. Rambuka removes Bentaveta from Sadelpa. And nightclubs can open as pubs or taverns.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Ateda Lendua.
2 members of parliament alleged to have breached the Parliamentary Remuneration Act 2014 were questioned by FICAC this morning. Government MP Vijendra Prakash and opposition MP Sarloti Randrondro arrived at FICAC around 9 a.m. Following questioning, the 2 were seen leaving the premises just before midday. Randrondro was accompanied by a lawyer, while Vijendra Prakash came by himself. FBC News understands other MPs will also be returning to the FICAC office later. It's alleged that Randrondro is part of a group of MPs who claimed travel and accommodation allowances they were not entitled to. The only government MP under investigation is Vijendra Prakash. Sadelpa leader Sitiveni Rambuka has confirmed that one of the prominent party staff, Ben Daveta, has been shown the exit door. Rambuka confirmed to FBC News that he, as leader, has removed Daveta due to disciplinary issues. FBC News has also been informed that while Daveta was asked to take 4 weeks' pay and leave, he has opted to work for the 4 weeks before exiting his position. Daveta was a key member of the party and worked in the opposition chambers. He was also a key member of the Sadelpa Youth Wing in the past. When questioned on the matter, Party General Secretary Emmeline Duituturanga says she is aware that a letter of termination was given from the opposition leader's office. Duituturanga says there was a subsequent meeting on Monday between Rambuka and Daveta. Party President Ratu Apinisa Vakumbao has referred all questions to Rambuka as party leader. Questions sent to Daveta have remained unanswered. Some nightclubs have sought to reopen by being redesignated as taverns. At present, taverns may open, but nightclubs are shut down. The Health Ministry says approval will be given on a case-by-case basis as these businesses represent the highest risk environments for the potential spread of COVID-19. Permanent Secretary Dr. James Fong says nightclub owners have suffered operational losses in the past months due to social gathering restrictions.
Moving forward, any request for nightclubs to seek new business designations will be approved on a case-by-case basis with compulsory input from the Ministry of Health. Our team will need to ensure that these venues can operate in a COVID-safe manner before any new designation can be considered and they can reopen their doors.
At present, a number of former nightclubs are seeking redesignation as taverns in order to open for business. Freesoul Real Estate Development Limited has pleaded not guilty to new amended charges against them. The case was called in the Suva Magistrates Court this morning, where the state filed a charge of undertaking unauthorized development and failure to comply with a prohibition notice. It is alleged that between June 2017 and December 2018 at Malolo in the Western Division, the company carried out development activity on dry land at Wadhia without an approved environment impact assessment report. On the second charge, it's alleged the company failed to comply with a prohibition notice issued against them on June 1st, 2018. The hearing on the amended charges will be held on the 10th of next month. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama has commissioned a hybrid solar power system which will benefit 200 people of Noikoro village in the Navosa province. The village, located between Pacific Harbour and the Coral Coast, solely depends on generator. Bainimarama says the terrain and relative isolation of the village made it expensive to extend the national electrical grid. He adds they are determined to meet the objective of ensuring that all Fijians have access to reliable electrical power by 2021, to have 100% renewable energy in Fiji by 2036, and achieve net zero emissions by 2050.
The system is already supplying power to 200 people, 41 households, the village church, and eventually a new health center. It will generate power when the sun shines and store it for you with a special hybrid system for later use. So you will have the same dependable service as any Fijian on our national grid.
Sai Prema Foundation's $25 million specialist children's heart hospital in Nasese Suva is nearing completion and may open by the end of the year. The hospital will care for Fijian children and those across the region with congenital heart disease. Foundation coordinator Namrata Tapu says assistance from overseas surgeons will be temporary, as they will be sending local health specialists for training to India. Tapu says this has been made possible through their sister hospital in India, the Sanjivani Hospitals. Sanjivani will also be facilitating the training.
Building is almost about to be completed, but we're just waiting for the borders to open, and we need some specialist work to be done from overseas. So once that happens.
With the pandemic taking a toll and crippling the operations of many businesses, the entertainment industry is not an exception. The popular Vodance Fiji felt the impact of the pandemic, as most of its scheduled shows were cancelled due to the lockdown and social gathering restrictions initiated in recent months. However, owner Sachiko Soro says the pandemic has prompted the management team with its 27 staff to draw up alternatives to sustain them in these trying times.
Luckily, we didn't have to terminate anyone, and we just had to reduce hours. And we branched out into farming, so we started a vo farm and planted all kinds of fruits and vegetables, and that's what's been sustaining the dancers, and now they're eating out of the farm and also going fishing as well. So it's been great for us in a way that we've had to diversify our skills and stuff and live in a different way.
Up ahead, Flying Fijians prop impressed with Nightclubs' performance, and Fiji Volleyball works towards development goals.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
There's a possibility the Flying Fijians could play the All Blacks next year. According to a report by the New Zealand Herald, the uncertainty remains over this year's All Blacks schedule, but two nations have reportedly been confirmed for a July series in 2021. The All Blacks will play 2 tests against Italy and 1 test against Fiji next July if New Zealand's border restrictions and COVID-19 pandemic allows. The 3 tests would be scheduled for the same time as the British and Irish Lions tour South Africa, the New Zealand Herald has reported. Flying Fijians prop Choeli Vetayaki has commended the overall performance of the Naitasiri side in the last 5 rounds of the Skipper Cup competition. After representing the Highlanders for more than a decade, the 34-year-old says for such a young side, they're able to compete against some experienced teams. Vetayaki debuted for the Flying Fijians against Japan in 2016 and also featured against the Barbarians last year. The Malawai Ngau native says Naitasiri has improved compared to the last few years.
Overall, I think Naitasiri have been improving all of these years. They've managed to be in the top 4 all these years. So we're still in the top 4, and despite the young boys coming in, still we managed to keep that winning form and improve all these years.
2 brothers named to the Fiji football squad say it's a proud moment for them. However, they now have to work even harder to make the final team. 26-year-old Anish Kem and 24-year-old Ashnil Raju are part of the 30-member extended squad in camp at the Fiji FA Academy in Ba. Ashnil Raju says it's a dream come true for them, as this has been their aim ever since they started playing. Both brothers are also school teachers. Anish was in the squad for the 2016 Summer Olympics, while Ashnil represented Fiji in the under-20. However, they say they both want to don the white jersey.
Yes, it will be a very difficult task for us to be in the Fiji team because there are a lot of talented players, the young players that have came in the camp.
Meanwhile, Anish will be in action for Rewa this Saturday when they travel to Ba to take on the Men in Black at 3 p.m, while Ashnil will play for Lambasa when they clash with Suva on Saturday at the ANZ Stadium in the Vodafone Premier League. As part of its way forward, the Fiji Volleyball Federation aims to revive members of the federation who have been inactive for the past years. President Linganguki Suva says the federation aims to embark Fiji Volleyball on a semi-professional era. He says they want those associations who have died down to rejoin the federation so they can resume club level and national competitions.
At the end of this year, I want to bring back the number of associations to 24. As we speak, we have 14 associations that are financial members. Our role, Fiji Volleyball Federation role, is to rope in the other 10 that were part of the association some years ago.
Lokisuva says currently Lakemba, Nabosa and Nadronga have joined the federation. Mainly fine weather prevails over most of the country. Expect some cloudiness later in the day. Similar conditions are expected tomorrow. And that's your FBC News Now. Join us again at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. In times of crisis, you need news you can trust. Get the verified facts from FBC's TV, radio, and digital news. fbcnews.com.fj, keeping Fijians connected with the truth. Have a good day.
I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.